Hello and welcome back to Captain of Industry. Now it's been a few days since I've recorded because I was away at the weekend having an exciting trip to London. So what is going on? What is happening? Let's have a little look from this end first, shall we? Power, we might have a potential issue with power going on because we know that this has started spiking a little bit. We only have about 20% headroom on our power. And this is basically maxed. So that's a bit of a problem for us. We've increased the amount of the other one. Uranium rods that we are creating because we realized we weren't actually creating enough to sustain the power, which could have been disastrous, but we noticed in time because I did set up a little buffer box. So that was useful. What are you trying to do? Don't. They are probably trying to bring compost in down here, which probably means we need a compost box down here somewhere, doesn't it? Let's grab this one and put this way. Let's make this compost. It's right there. Let's tell that to fill up, and then let's put a little belt in. You're the wrong way around. Let's put a little belt in. Bearing in mind they have to get to that box as well. That truck has just nicely reminded me of that. So where can we, if we put this in, oh, that pipe's too low for that to fit in there. If we put it right there, trucks can still get in, and if we come off this direction and come around here like this and turn off the snapping, and then try and figure out where the compost is going. Let's just put you there a second. So what is this? This is slurry. You're the slurry sludge stuff. Okay, so we don't want you, so we want the outputs, which I think is this belt here. It will be the compost. Yes, I think so. Okay, so let's grab this one. Let's turn the magnet back on. And just bring you in over there. That'll then just give, so that's for the food production area, which is generating compost here, and we want that to send the compost somewhere else. Now we are actually sending the compost over here where it is getting turned into dirt, so maybe we don't, hang on then, maybe we don't need to worry about that. If we're turning it into dirt anyway, but then that would, I think we need to change the priority on this. We need to make that a priority out, really, don't we? We need to make that the priority out, so it's always sending the compost over here to be turned into dirt. If it can't do that, that box fills up, and that's absolutely fine. I'm just going to leave that going. That's all good. Okay, so you're going over there to grab dirt, which I assume you're just going to put into these boxes down there. Now, I noticed a few things saying that haul trucks are struggling to find destinations. Where are you trying to reach? You're not going to tell me. If you're not going to tell me, I can't help you. We are busy filling in this area over here. That's looking beautiful. We are bringing in sour water, but we're relying on the other stuff to come in for that. Slag, that's the word I was thinking of. So we can only sustain that as long as we're creating slag, which could be mildly problematic. But in the meantime, we are generating a good amount of fertilizer too down here, which will be helping out our farms. Lovely. Fuel gas is still low. Hydrogen is, however, going up. So if the hydrogen starts filling up, then we should start seeing a bit more fuel gas come in. Saying that, diesel is also getting low. So we are hoping we start seeing a lot more fuel gas coming out of these. That would be the plan. They are currently trying to get rid of all of the excess, not vegetables, sugarcane. We were just producing too much sugarcane. But it is what it is, and we'll leave them going. And then we decided that maybe we didn't leave a lot of room for these, didn't we? Yeah, we can fit a couple more in. How many more could we fit in? 3 at a push. But after that, it's going to start becoming problematic. Okay, well, 3 is 3. That's an increase of, like, I don't know, 40%-ish. We'll see how that goes. Everything else up here is doing beautifully. So I don't think we need to spend a lot of time looking at food. We can have a quick look over here. Yeah, we have got full stored fertilizer in all of our farms, which is part of the reason why we suddenly have just so much food coming in. So much food coming in. which, like I say, isn't necessarily a bad thing because it'll go down here and get processed as long as we have the capacity to process it, which is a different matter entirely. Now we should be making compost out of those, animal feed out of those, but we know the animal feed is full. So maybe we start thinking about chickens. Maybe we start thinking about chickens. These are busy filling all of this area up to height 3. Beautiful, so we can get that covered with dirt at some point. They're busy trying to finish off the iron mine. Also beautiful. They are digging out this mountain range, although for some reason we set this one tile higher. So we need to sort that out at some point, but that's not a concern. Lots of red down here, but that's just the connections. That's absolutely fine. Gold is fine, although gold is, well, it's not quite running out yet, but it's yeah, it's not amazing. We've started planting over in our new wood area, which is great, but we have 80,000 wood, so we're not massively concerned about that. And we are busy digging through here. We are almost there with this. How much have they got to do? Oh, just a little bit more. Just a little bit more, and that'll get us access to this area so we can get our tree harvesters going and emptying the rest of that. Fantastic. And then maybe we need to start thinking about getting over to this island, because this has got bauxite on, although not a lot of bauxite really. So yes, lots of things to be worrying about there. So something I think we want to do today, I was having a quick look through this list earlier. Chicken farms, we're not using that, so we'll leave that. Snacks we are doing. Housing 4 we haven't touched. Solar panels we haven't. Household appliances we haven't. Offices, luxury good. Trains, long trains. Canola we've done. We can get rid of that. That's the tier 4 assemblers, which we can get rid of. We haven't done the concrete mixers 3, but we're not really in a massive rush for concrete mixers 3. What would be the benefit to doing concrete mixers 3? Obviously it just doubles everything up. If we just pin this one, so you double the resources, it uses 3 more workers for that and uses double the power, so we save a few workers, but really it's not a massive difference. I'm not too fussed about that. Let's get rid of that. The internet we have, medical supplies 3 we have, which brings us onto the ship weapons and ship engine. That is our first ship upgrade we've had in a million years and gets us to the max tier of our ship. There is nothing we can do after that. So let's come over here and have a look at upgrading our ship. So we've got a bigger engine, we've got a bigger gun, we've got a bigger gun, we have the max there, we have the max there, we have the max there, we have the max there. So that's going to cost us 1,000 steel, a bunch of mechanical parts, a bunch of electronics 2 and a bunch of electronics 1, but we're going to do that. We're going to do that. I think that's quite an important thing to do. We have water resources getting low. I'm not worried about that. Cool. We have sulfur coming in for extra. We have the additional iron coming in over there. We have the quartz coming in for extra sand. I did balance this. I did not balance that. Okay, did I balance it at this end? I did balance it at this end, so at least it is balanced with the output from the direct drop from the mine. Just talking of this mine, they are busy digging out this end. It looks like we do need to come down another level if we wanted to get that. I don't know if I'm going to do that, because I think we're in great danger of flooding the mine, and if we flood the mine we are in massive amounts of trouble. It just means this sand mine is dead. If we flooded this mine we would have to fill it back up to get rid of the water, so we'd have to fill it up to level like 0 or maybe 1 to get rid of the water, and then dig out all the other stuff that we put in the mine. I am strangely not keen on doing that, so we're not going to go down another level. They're just going to carry on doing what they're doing. You are being told to mine that as well. You just decided to start over there. That's fine. So once they've started doing this, we can maybe start thinking about filling in part of this mine, which of course is in preparation for getting trains over here at some point in the future. At some point in the future. Let's speed everything up. So we do have a whole bunch of research we could use. We paused that, I think, for Unity reasons. But we currently have no research going. We can continue with the microchip next stage of production there, and then really we need to start getting into robot assembly, don't we? We have the recycling needed up here, but I don't think we're using the max tier of that. But if we get this gives us the next tier of assembler that can produce even more products. So let's unpause one of those. It's probably not going to be getting there for quite some time, but let's get that going. And just see the impact that has on our power and what we need to start thinking about with that. We also have 3 more trucks we can build. What are our trucks? It's mainly going to be, if we get rid of that. So yeah, it's mainly rock, mainly slag, bit of diesel, bit of dirt. So the actual core products that are moving around, not that much really, not that much. So I'm not too worried about the trucks. They're just doing what they should be doing. So that's fine. They're just busy doing it because they're busy. All of these are now lovely and backed up. Yes, they are beautiful. People-wise, we're doing okay. We've got 300 spare workers. If we start ramping up the people quite a lot, we could start thinking about doing offices, which is a whole other ball game again. So that's something for us to perhaps look at in the future. They have emptied out this compost box pretty much. A little bit left in there, but not too much. But all the compost is now going over here to get turned into dirt. And we are filling up this dirt box. Beautiful, beautiful. We could perhaps think about belting that in down here directly. Wouldn't be a bad thing, I suppose. So what do we actually want to do then? Last time I think we did this. I think we did that in the last video, got that going. Household appliances is perhaps the next thing, which I think I put down here. Yes, that uses a fair bit of electronics. We do obviously have a current surplus of electronics, as whether that maintains a surplus. I'm going to change that to 75. I want this to be 75. That already is. Microchips. Yeah, let's put an alert on that as well, just so we know if we need to ramp up production of those. Same over here. That's all fine. Okay. Because obviously if we do household appliances and we find that we're running out of we're running out of stuff, it means we then also need to upgrade more stuff here. For copper, we don't have a lot of room to upgrade much more, really. We only have another 48, 50, whatever that would be. We have another 3 we could get up and running, whatever that works out to, whatever magical number that is. Okay, glasses looking fine, everything's looking fine. So let's think about these household appliances, and we should probably also think about belting in our household goods, which doesn't necessarily need to live here anymore. Because we could put it, excuse me game, we could put it over here, because we do have bridges over here, but whether we have enough bridges, there's definitely not enough space to get them underneath that one, to get 2 belts past there. At which point we could come down here and come under this one, and come in. That would probably work. That would probably work. But I was thinking about moving household goods over here, partly for that very reason. Partly for that very, very reason. Okay, so let's have a little look at this then. So let's move this. So household goods, is that really on a lower tier thing at the moment? It is on a lower tier thing. How many household goods do we need? We need 6, we need 50. We need 50. So we need more than 50. So let's upgrade this. So that gives us 32. So if we have 2 of these go in, find the right button. That gives us enough and a little bit of overhead. Not a lot, but a little bit. I paused then because I heard a very strange sound outside. Right, let's think about what we're going to do with this. So is this currently belted into these? It is. It takes 3 things. Let's just grab... Let's press the right button and grab this for a moment. Pop this here, grab these, put these here, get rid of this and this and this and this and a chunk of this and that for now as well, until we figure out where we're going to go. So let's pop that one over there. So these, they could go into a box there just so it's all lined up properly still. Yeah, why not? Why not? Okay, let's grab a big box for these and pop this down here. So you are going to be household goods. Output all the time. Receive from belts only if below... We don't really need 500. Let's just say 250. 250 I think would be fine. We need to belt you into here and you into here. You need to be a tier 2 belt. We then need to make sure we can get stuff out of there, which we can, so that's all good. You need wood, steel, and glass. So wood we have here somewhere. Wood is up here. So if we grab the wood, bring the wood down here, turn the magnet off before it starts doing silly things. And then bring this in. Yeah, fine. Bring this in here. So you are going to connect in. Turn magnet back on. Hello. That's because you're going the other way, isn't it? Let's grab one of these. Go up one. Pop you there. Grab you. Put you into. What are you doing there? There we go. I don't know why you're being so weird. You need 16 wood, so a tier 1 belt is absolutely fine for 2 of you. We also need, did it say steel? It did say steel. So steel is right here. So we can grab steel, come in at height 5, just because that's what it's already at. Bring you into about here, and then plug you into there. Perfect. So now we have wood, we have steel. We then just need glass. Do we have glass over here? I don't think we do. Where's the nearest place we have glass? It's here, isn't it? So we'd have to take the glass at height 4. If we bring that down to height 3, that will fit in there. Bring that to there, bring that to there. And then really we need you to come down to ground level. And we need you to plug in to there. We need to flip that one. We need to get rid of that. We need to get rid of that. And we need to flip that one. Nope, flip the wrong one. Flip that one. Flip that one. Cool. That's everything we need for that. Let's get that built. Make sure that goes all the way back to the sources. It looks like it does. Perfect. I haven't told you what you need to build. Yes, I have. You're just waiting for products to come in. That's absolutely fine. So that's that. We then need to get these out of here. So I want you to come over here. At height, probably height 5, I guess. And then just tuck in here for the minute while I think about how this is going to work. So we sort of need to get you over here somewhere, don't we? Which means you're going to both need to fit in underneath this, which is a problem. So maybe... You were jumping over just now. Fine, go there, whatever. If we just bring you in over here, maybe? And then we come in along here. We may as well just bring you down to height 4, somewhere around here. Bring you to here, go down to height 4, you can come under there. And then you fit nicely in there. Am I okay with that? Yeah, because diggers can still get through the bridges, everything else can get under it because it's height 4. Yeah, I think that's fine. Which means we then need to worry about household appliances. We need 35 of those. This makes 24, so we also need 2 of these. These also have 3 inputs, so let's just steal this. Pop that in there. And then get that lined up, which I think is there. So you also need steel. Steel is a nice easy one. So steel, we are going to steal from here. Ha 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 ha. In fact, we're going to come in here. Which means you can't find valid pillars placement. How could you not find valid pillars placement? Go from there. Fine. Whatever. Whatever. You're going to go from there. You're going to come down to magnet into the highest one, because that makes most sense. You also need electronics 1 and 2. So electronics 2 we have here. So I'd like to turn off magnet, bring you into there, bring you into there, and then bring you in. Why are you doing a weird thing? Because we've got something there. Because that's at an angle, I think. Okay. Did that get rid of all of that? Yeah, it did. Okay, that's fine. So there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Magnet back on. Bring you to here. Can you stay under there for that bit? You're complaining about something being in the way. Yeah, it's the... I don't even know what you are. Something's in the way. Whatever it is. Can we come out this side then? And then you... Why are you still doing something weird and stupid? I think it's because you don't have enough space to go down. So if we bring you down to height 3 here. Okay, let's do it that way then. That's fine. That then fits in nicely. We then need electronics. What was that? That was electronics 2. Yeah, so we need electronics 1, which is this one here. So we'll come off of here, I guess at height 5. Bring you to... Oh, it's all kinds of messy, isn't it? Turn magnet off. Can you go under there at height 4? Yes. Can you go under there at height 4? Pretty much. Can you then go at height 3? Not in a particularly nice way, but we can get you to there. And then you're going to have to go around that one anyway. Alright, fine, whatever. Let's just bring you to there, and then down to height 1 there. And then down to ground level anyway. So let's just plug you in there, and that is as it is. We do not need that to be a Mark II. So let's downgrade that to a Mark 1. We then need a storage box for these, which is going to go here. You are going to be household appliances. That's also going to be fine. You output 24, so a Mark 1 belt is going to be fine. Let's get all of that built so we can actually start doing stuff. Let's get that built. And then let's get an output, which we're going to bring... I suppose we'll bring it this way just because it matches the other one then. Which will bring at height 4 to here, and it's not going to really work if you want to expand it, but I guess we'll just move it at that point. So let's bring that over to here, over to here. I'd like you to go right underneath that one, please, and thank you. And then go down to height 3, over to there, and then magnet into there. Excellent, build that. Now we have household goods. And now we wait and see to see what the impact of that is on our electronics. Gold tower has no available destinations to mine. Well. That is an easy one to fix. So just come... I'm saying height 30. Is everything height 30 here? Yeah. So get rid of that little... Oh, how much does that extend out? Fine. Do that. And then do that. So that'll keep you busy for a while. Excellent. Iron has no place to dump products. Does that mean that we have ran out of dumping for our rock? It absolutely means we've ran out of dumping for our rock. Insane. So let's come over here. Fill all of this to height 3. Fill all of this to height 3. Should we just bring that all across? We probably should, shouldn't we? We're not going to want that ramp to be higher at any point. We are going to want a little ramp in here at some point. So let's bring that down. Going the wrong way, height 3. So let's just then do height 5. Height 3. All of that. Yeah, cool. That'll keep you busy. Right, do that. And at some point we'll join this up. What height is this? That is also height 3. So that's once we've got that there and that bridged over, we don't need this ramp anymore. Perfect. Cool. Excellent. So let's keep a little eye on household goods, which should be being produced now. Yes, they are. Let's have a slurp of tea while we watch that. Don't need trucks going there anymore. We also need to now just pause for the moment these ones. This is being set to empty, but it might not ever empty. So I might just say quick remove, which should put all of those in here. It does, which gives them enough that they don't need to carry on working because that is now full. Once this belt is empty, we will do the same thing again. Excellent. So we might be able to get rid of this bit of spaghetti up here to replace it with this spaghetti down here. Cool. Right, well that's household goods done. Where are household goods? Off you go. That takes us to luxury goods. What do we need for luxury goods? Luxury goods. We need gold. We can probably manage the gold. And we need... Get rid of this. And okay, fine. Imported goods. Oh, okay. Which I guess you get from contracts, because I can't see any here for general quick trade. Imported goods. We can use vehicle parts again, if we say it's 8. Or we can use diamonds. Well, we don't have diamonds. That's not an option. So it's going to have to be vehicle goods. And quite a lot of vehicle goods, like 700. Now, we do have a lot in our box there. But what are we using? Where are we currently using vehicle goods? Here and here. We're already using vehicle goods in 2 different places. This is using 200 for oil. This is using 400 for quartz. So we'd basically be saying we need 1,000 vehicle parts Mark II to get that up and running. Is there anything else we can trade for oil or for quartz? Oil, we could do food packs if we start getting there, which might not be too far away. I don't know if I want to do gold, so that might only be food packs are the way forward for that. And then quartz is coal. No. Solar panels. No. Okay, so there's not a lot different we can do there. And imported goods was just vehicle parts or diamonds. So maybe we might just need to ramp up our vehicle part production. Now, these might not be running full time. These are obviously only going to run when we need that coming in. Our hydrogen has gone way, way down again. I'm going to unpause a couple of those because our naphtha is starting to fill up. I was really hoping... Oh, hold on a second. Yeah, this... Yeah, we don't want that. So we are currently pumping... fuel gas in there when it should be going just straight up there. So let's make another of these wonderful temporary pipes, which we're going to plug in there just to empty that out, because I don't think we really need that storage anymore. It was just there as sort of like a holdover. So that'll give us a bunch more fuel gas, which will give us a bunch more diesel, hopefully, and a bunch more hydrogen, hopefully, although we're not producing all that much down there. We have red errors, that's just this running out of water. I'm not too concerned about that. The flattenator of speed has nothing to mine, which means the flattenator of speed has finished this. Ah, beautiful, beautiful, you absolute legends. I guess you may as well go join in with this crew. Because I don't know there's a lot else we need you to do right now. So let's give you a new rectangle, which is going to be there for the minute. Just help them finish off that little bit. That also means we can come over here and we can say tree harvesting. All of this, 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 and all of this, and all of this, and 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 that. And you get the picture. And then this uranium area, go over there and risk your lives getting those paltry few trees. I don't think you'll be able to get that one, but let's mark that one. Sweet. So if we run over here, we should be seeing a little procession. There we go. Do. Yes. Tree harvesters going off to get those trees. Beautiful. It's just occurred to me we also did have like 6 trucks just assigned there doing nothing, which we could have maybe utilized. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Yeah, so luxury goods is going to be next. For that, we are probably going to need to get... have you done this? You're waiting for mechanical parts and electronics 1. Is that just because you can't get to mechanical parts and electronics 1? I suspect that is the case. You, come here. No, we can get to mechanical parts. And yep, you can get to electronics 1 as well. So it's just the fact that there's too much stuff going on. So we are running out of electronics Mark II. Well, let's not pause, let's just slow everything down. Electronics Mark II is running out almost certainly because we are throwing a bunch of electronics 2 in there. We did also throw 160 in there. I don't know whether that's going to be a massive thing. 160 were used there. We are short by, well, just over 100 actually. Yeah, it looks like we are just short. Now this is going to stop in a minute, because that's almost full of server parts again. But we might need to think about upgrading a couple of these. So if we just do that, if we do that one, and if we do that one, we're probably going to need to do one of these. So let's do one, not you, one of you as well. These are already all the Mark IVs. So there's not a lot we can do there if that starts running out. I do want an alert on that as well, though, in case that starts running out. Which we should be starting to see more electronics parts coming in, which we are. Ish. Maybe. Yeah, I think we're just about okay. You do not have a low supply of iron ore, you are lying to me. We don't have this. How long has that been broken? the entire time. So there's probably been trucks, yeah, taking iron ore over there manually, because that has never actually been belted in. That's a bit of a problem. So that's now actually working, and it's never worked before. Should be prioritizing, yeah, the input from the mines, but obviously we're not getting a lot of stuff in from the mines, so it's just going to go as fast as it can. Cool. All right. Why? What? Oh, okay, let's... I don't know why you would choose to do it in that order, but fine, let's stop that, because I don't like that very much. Still no slag in here, but we are full of slag there, pretty much. So, we would need a lot of vehicle parts Mark II, and I don't know if we've got enough vehicle parts Mark II being produced here to cover what we would need. In fact, we are still producing vehicle parts Mark II, and I'm not overly sure why. They might have just taken some out to refill this box. Maybe. So to do that, we're going to need another ship, because we are maxed out on ships. So let's have a little look down. Nope. A little look down here. And the next ship would cost 600 Mark IIIs. Well, we've got enough for that. Let's do that. Let's get that out of the way. If I wanted to put a dock down here... that annoying piece of land is going to be in the way. Okay. I'm guessing I can't fit one in down here. No. Huh. That's very annoying. How low does it have to be? It looks like it has to be lower than we have real access to. That's frustrating. So the next available spot would be like up here. But then getting them over to where we're actually going to... I really want it down here. I really want it down here. So if we wanted to get rid of this... it'd be nice if we could, like, keep this here. How would we do that? We would need to put a dumping in to height... I don't know what you're doing there, but it looks weird. So I guess you would have to go there. And then flatten out. And then go probably about there. And then how are we going to get rid of all of this after? Because then it's just going to leave more there that we can't dig out. Yeah, that's not going to work. Well, no, it is if we go down deep enough. This is starting to seem quite silly, but I also think it's something I want to do. So I think we're going to have to do this. And then make like a little bridge. No, because whatever we do, it's going to leave stuff that we can't dig low enough, isn't it? Or we just bring this out further. pin that, bring this up. That doesn't look like it's going to interfere with any. If we just do that, which is again quite silly, but it will allow us to put another shipyard there. Yeah, all right. No, I'm just going to do that. I do want the shipyard there because I don't want to, because then the goods that we're bringing in are right there. It's not very far to bring them, or we maybe just start making them there. What else does it need? Just gold. So yeah, we might just start making them like here and then belt them into this from there straight away. That might make more sense. Unity is going way, 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 way down. Why is it going way, way, way down? Don't really know. Could be that we had just something run up here, one of the contracts or something. Speaking of, if we wanted to bring in imported goods, we would need to get you. Oh no, we don't, because you're already up to the right level, so that's absolutely fine. So we might want to get this to a bigger storage, and then potentially to a bigger storage again. We'll see what we're thinking. You are struggling to find a destination you can reach. It's not you, great job, it's the other one. What are you trying to reach? I wouldn't worry about that. Don't worry about any of that, that's fine. Does that mean you're basically finished up here? Yes, it does. Does that mean we have to reroute these pipes? Yes. Yes, it does. Okay. So let's just bring in a new pipe, which is going to go there. Height 5. We're going to come to here. Yep, wherever. There. Cool. Oh, come on, you go in there then. There you go. Come on. You can do it, you cheeky thing. Let's connect you into there. You're the right size. Let's Unity you. In terms of priorities, we do not have a priority on this one, so that's fine. Let's just get rid of that to let that flush out of water. We might also need to move this pipe. If we wanted to do a bit more there, we might even need to move all of that at some point, but it's fine for now. So if we bring you in and just up here and connect into there, you are not a priority, so that's fine. Unity you, and then delete you, and delete you, and then Unity you. Excellent. And then we can just do more of this mountain, please. Now we are going to need to change their areas, but that will come in a moment. I suppose we could also just tell them to do all this in the meantime. Sweet, so that'll keep them a little bit busy. Still says we have a low supply of electronics. Oh, that's electronics 1 now that's going down. So let's just upgrade you, which is going to double your rubber and your copper requirements. Copper doesn't have an alert on. I want you to have an alert on, please. So that should hopefully fix that. That is looking just about healthier, but we do appear to be at the limit for that. So we've got plenty of household appliances coming in. No, we don't. Why don't we? Have they only just started making them? Receive from belts only if below. Output all the time. Why is that only just started outputting? Because neither of these are connected. Yeah, I can see why that would be a problem. Right, that is now automated. They are connected up there, so that's fine. And they are actually moving stuff. Sweet. So you are now sending in household appliances. That's going to give us another little boost to our Unity. And if I remember correctly, we should be... Where do we see it if we click on this? We're only at 50% there at the moment. How do you see what the other ones are? Oh, that's because you're the lower tier of housing. We look at the higher tier of housing. Nope, not you. Higher tier of housing, there we go. They are now giving us 100% Unity boost because they are getting all of those things. Which means if we upgrade more of them and maybe pause some of the smaller ones, we would get more Unity. So let's do that. So I don't necessarily need more workers, but if we have a lot of free housing and I pause some of the smaller ones, forcing more people to live in the fancy houses, we just get more Unity, and that's great because now we're up to +3, which means we can look over here. We can maybe think about doing a higher recycling edict. That's not a bad thing at all. Some people might say that's a good thing. Who knows? If we had... No, excavators are fine, because the only place we want excavators is down here, and they can travel around there if they need to. We have a low supply of copper and a low supply of silicon poly. I was afraid of both of those things. We have oodles of free housing. So if we pause this one, and we pause this one, and we pause this one, we now don't have enough housing. So let's upgrade one more of these. I'm fine with that. Still saying there's a low supply of electronics. That's because we are out of copper. Copper is fine at this end. It is fine. It is not fine there. It is fine there. It is fine there. So we just need more copper. So let's Unity build this one and this one and this one and... Nope, not you. I don't want to delete you. Are you deleting it? Yeah. Just wanted to pause it, really, but fine. We just deleted it in its entirety. In fact, can I cancel the deconstruction and then just pause it? There we go. That's what I wanted. Right, so we now have more copper getting made, although that isn't made. And then down here, we don't have an output from here, so let's connect that into there. And then Unity that. We don't need you having stuff brought in. You should be working. Do you have acid? No. Let's give you some acid. Sweet, now you have acid. So now you should have everything you need to work. Apart from this, you don't have this. Why don't you have that? You do have that. Sweet. So you are now working. So that will eventually get us some more copper coming into the box. Eventually. But we are very low on those. So much so I'm thinking we might need to build the next one of these. Let's do it. Let's build you. Build you. Don't build you. Because you we want to connect into this. So we can build you. And you and you. Don't Unity you. Just unpause the construction. And then realize that we can't get to this because it's blocked by the glass maker. Okay. can we move that one down? So that was there. We're gonna have to get rid of all of those. So we want you to go there. So we're going to need to get rid of a bit of this for the moment. Fine. So then we need to get rid of that pillar, which should be okay. And perhaps that pipe, which should be okay. And then this pillar that's now arrived, that should be okay. So if we grab this and we put this in here, there is still one pillar it's colliding with, which is this pillar here, which is all of those things. Can I avoid that by just moving it down another one? It looks like I can. So that would then connect into there. That would connect... we'll come back to that, okay. This can go back a little bit. Into there. And then we could actually connect this into there. And unity that. You are not getting stuff. You are not getting stuff. You are not getting enough copper. Is that because something is missing somewhere? Or it's just because we're not getting a lot of copper in. And it's quite simply the case. So we need this belt to be absolutely full, but it's not. It looks like it has a Mark 1 bit somewhere. Which is right there. Yeah. So that should solve that. Okay. That'll get some more copper, which will get some more electronics, because we are... Actually, we're full of electronics at the moment. Electronics 2 is going down, however. And that's because you're low on something. Silicon poly, which we did see an error for pop up just now, and I largely ignored it. Silicon poly comes from these. How much silicon poly do you need? You need 12. So you need 24, 48, 72... You need 78 silicon poly. You guys make 18, 36, 72, and 72 for something else, which probably goes into here. You only need 48, so that should be absolutely fine. So you should be making enough. You seem to be doing okay. Is it because these aren't big enough? They can move 120, you produce 72, so that's fine. So why aren't you working? Because you don't have hydrogen. Because we don't have any hydrogen. We do have full fuel gas. So, unleash the hydrogen reformers. Reformeries? Yeah. Hydrogen reformers. Let's get them back up and running, shall we? And then we'll just keep an eye on copper. We should be seeing a lot more copper coming in. Assuming this is running, but that still looks like it's struggling for copper. That could be because that belt needs to be upgraded. And then we should be in a better position. We do have this same problem where the scrap getting taken out is leaving spaces in this, so this isn't running full time, but I'm hoping that's not too much of an issue. Although it clearly does seem to be. But hopefully if we just leave that running a little while, that might sort itself out. So we should be starting to see more hydrogen coming in, I would hope. Very much so. You're complaining you don't have any fuel gas. Hello. You should. You should have fuel gas. You do. You do not. Is that just a pipe throughput issue? So you use 24, so let's just say 50, 100, 150. So a 200 pipe is absolutely fine for that. So you are running now. You are struggling to get fuel gas fast enough. You are trying to get 100 from a 60 pipe. So this pipe here does need to be upgraded. But I don't think that bit did necessarily, but that one did. So that should help get enough fuel gas in. Yep. So we're not seeing full throughput down this pipe. Which is another one of these, makes me think there's a tier 1 in somewhere. And then we have this absolute catastrophe that I would have to try to unpick. So you are the priority out. The input is this pipe, which is a Mark II. The input to this one is this one, which is this one. And these should just all be having stuff input onto it. Mark II, Mark II, Mark II, Mark II, Mark 1. There it is. Which means this one also needs to be upgraded. And then we're on Mark II, which goes into this balancer, which takes priority inputs from these two. Had a sneeze, which are both Mark II. It also has a priority input from this, which is just connected to one thing, and then it's this Mark II here, which is coming off of the storage, so that should be absolutely fine. Now we should be starting to see more hydrogen hopefully coming in. I'm going to put an alert on this to tell me if it is less than 25% full, because that is something we now depend on quite heavily. Right, so if we ramp everything up, we should be starting to see more fuel gas coming down here. It's not getting rid of the hydrogen very fast. It's not getting rid of the hydrogen very fast. It produces 28 hydrogen. So this one is going to be fine, but this one needs to be upgraded. Over here, this one's already been upgraded. This is basically full. But does that leave us in a better position for this one at the very end? So if we just watch this one come over here and finish off. Yeah, it looks like it's now able to get rid of its hydrogen a little bit faster. So that should hopefully help that. Right. Oof. What were we doing? We were dumping stuff over here, hopefully. Very slowly is the answer. Very, very slowly. It's because it's focusing on this, which is all fine, but stop it. Don't worry about that now. I want you to focus on dumping this little bit over here so I can get that one built over there so we can start thinking about luxury goods. We are still waiting on mechanical parts and electronics. Why is that? We are quite comfortable that trucks can get over there. Let's just double check this because I'm getting concerned. Yep, trucks can come over here, they can come through here, they can come over here, they can grab mechanical parts. Same with the electronics. They can come in the same way. They can drive around here. They can get to the electronics. Is it just that that's a very low priority? Maybe, but we do have trucks that are idle. So, do this. Our vehicle's told they can't pick up from there. Yep. And that's going to be the same. Yep. Right. Okay, let's do that. Whoa, Nelly Magoo. Low maintenance 2. And when it says low maintenance 2, what it means is we've got absolutely none. And that's because of the silicon poly issue. What did we decide this was a problem with? This. This is like so important. We do have some coming in to get delivered. Beautiful. This should all be running basically flat out now. It is. Beautiful. How much hydrogen do you take? Not a lot, so it's not a massive concern. And the silicon poly gets belted automatically over here, so we should start seeing some electronics 2 production now. Okay. Right, we've got quite a lot of Unity still. How are the recycling belts looking? Absolutely rammed to the hilt is the answer to that. We need more recycling plants, and we need this belt to be faster. Because it is quite possible that it just cannot get rid of the stuff. It just can't get rid of the stuff fast enough. This belt needs to be faster. Did I not just upgrade you? I did. Okay. So how far does that go? That's going to take us, hopefully, all the way up to where it starts getting the glass out. I don't know if it's going to need to be a Mark III after that as well. I'm sort of hoping it doesn't. Yeah, so this belt isn't quite full. But this belt isn't also moving at max speed. So if we do this bit as well, then it can have the glass. No, what is this bit? Well, that's the gold. Okay, so we can have the gold coming off of there, if we have any. Yep, we do. We occasionally have one. The problem being we are not processing the glass fast enough, and because we're not processing the glass fast enough, and that will help with that, but the glass is basically full. Because we're not processing that fast enough, this is just backing up over here. Yep. Let's put in... Oh, maybe we're okay. Maybe we're okay. There's not a lot else we can do with glass scrap is the thing. We could compact it. But then we just have to uncompact it at the end, wouldn't we? Things are complaining about a low supply. That's because we're not getting rubber in fast enough. We want that to be kept full at this stage. How much rubber do we have? Quite a lot. Yeah, I'm not worried about the amount of rubber we're producing. It just needs to get over there faster. That's already quite a high priority. It's just not getting delivered fast enough, so that's fine. You were waiting for silicon poly. How much silicon poly do we need? 24, 40, more than a Mark I belt can handle, I think is the answer to that. So let's upgrade that. Yeah, this is causing problems. So all I can really think for that is we get a loose storage box in, which we put in around here somewhere, which is going to be problematic. So let's put it in maybe here. Nope, it's going to have to go one further back at least. We could then get a loose lift. Loose lift. Collision with glassmaker. A loose lift. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to go there. Take a copy of that. Flip it. I can't flip it once it's been. So you're going to go there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I would want you to come in here. And I would want you to not be able to find valid pillars placement. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Yep, that's what I thought was going to happen right there. But that works, which means you should be able to get in over here where that other one was just now when it was absolutely fine with it. There. So if we build that, and then I suppose we could just leave that bit there. Yeah, we could just leave that bit there. That at least helps us get the extra glass out of here, which keeps this all running, because that belt is absolutely maxed. But I'm hoping if we can get stuff out of there at a faster rate, it will help all this move a bit faster. Did I just see you start backing up already? Yeah, possibly where you hit this one. Definitely where you hit this one. So this one goes all the way down to these splitters. Do you also need to be upgraded, or is this just like a temporary thing whilst this empties out? That recycling edict is partly what's responsible for that, of course. So let's pop back down over here. So we could increase that again. It's just going to increase it again. We could reduce our water consumption. It's not a bad thing necessarily. We could increase our research efficiency. I don't really want to do the extra maintenance. Oh, speaking of maintenance. Yeah, we should be paying more attention to this maintenance spiral that we're in, because this is a problem. So you are still waiting for electronics 2. And you are still waiting for... What are you waiting for now? PCBs. And the PCBs are waiting for glass, because I never put this back in. Okay. Yep. Understand why that's a problem. You don't need to be that, I don't think, but I do need you built, like, immediately. How much do you take? 12, 12, 12. Yeah, so that's fine. Okay. And now we actually have a low supply of diesel, which is in itself a major, major problem. So I'm going to pause both of those. So they are only using naphtha for diesel. Similarly, over here, I'm going to pause 3 of those. So we are focusing on using fuel gas for diesel. We do have a lot of fuel gas. Could we maybe think about making a couple more of these? Quite possibly. Let's do that. Yep, I'm aware you need maintenance. I'm hoping that will all start getting fixed soon. So you are going to take in fuel gas and oxygen. We might want to pause a couple more of those in the short term, just to try and get that diesel going up, because obviously hugely concerned about that situation. Over here, yeah. Yeah, we've just got so much food that everything's backing up. But we are reaching the point where we need to start thinking about finishing. So next time we need to increase these. We need to get more of these going, which is going to give us more fuel gas, which is going to give us more hydrogen, which is going to give us more diesel. And yes, I saw that brief flicker of power being a problem. We are now producing PCBs, so we are actually making electronics 2. Are we making too many electronics 2 for this belt? It looks like. I can't be bothered to count, so I'm just going to do this. And obviously if we're doing those, this is obviously going to have to be upgraded as well. You fool. Although we only have a Mark 1 belt out for that. Which I'm sure is fine. Sure, that's fine. Okay. We are sending a lot down here as well. But then we need electronics 3 as well. So it is what it is, right? But we are producing plenty of PCBs now. And they are pretty much all the way along the line. Okay. This is what happens when you start messing with stuff. When you start messing with stuff you shouldn't be messing with. But we should be... We're not backing up on these, but that is now broken. So it might start backing up if it starts breaking completely. Cool. Alright, well, I think that's a good time for us to finish then. Right in panic moment. We can start the next video off with a lovely little death spiral. Woo! So you're actually not producing any of this right now. Okay. We might need to start thinking about upgrading to having more of these. Yeah, because although this is full, they also have a full belt of recyclables coming in. So we might need to think about upgrading to having 4 recycling plants, waste sorting plants. And that's only because of that edict we put on. I was going to look very quickly at edicts, but we'll do that next time as well. So what have we done today? We have built a lovely little tower over, or a lovely little pillar of land over here to put another one of these on, which should hopefully be fitting now. Yes, it does. Beautiful. We can hopefully squeeze that over a little bit over there as well. And maybe we'll bring that in all the way over here. We shall see. We have continued digging up this mine, and they have pretty much finished this bit over here. We might want to come down another level, but just not go into the tile closest to the wall, I think. We could, of course, put in retaining walls, but I don't trust them. Quite frankly, I do not trust them. We have a low supply of hydrogen. That might be the tank over there. No, it is this tank here. So we do definitely want to unpause a couple of those as well. It's all going on. It's all gone on. So we've got low hydrogen. We've got diesel running out. We have no maintenance too. We have electronics coming in, but they're not going anywhere very fast. We are probably using a lot of them down here, but this is now quite an important part because we need that for over there. That's run out of things to dig. We have almost destroyed this mountain range. That's looking beautiful. We have got over to this island. We have started shearing the trees off of this somewhere. I can see a truck driving down. I cannot see... There they are. There's the tree harvesters. So we've started clearing that island as well. We just have a lot of wood, so they're not going to do it very fast. Food is going so well that it has backed up the entire belt system. Farms are going to start being able to not being able to produce food soon. So we really need to increase this. Do we need to increase these? These are these ones. We need to increase these ones here. But they are not running because they are full of animal feed. So we really need to increase these ones as a priority. Oh dear. We also need to start thinking about chickens at some point, which will give us even more unity, which will make the people even happier, which means we'll have more unity to spend on upgrading our recycling, which means we can then produce more recyclables, which we cannot currently deal with because our demand is so high. Oh my word. What a crazy, crazy world. Well, It's all going on. It's all going on. We're running out of electronics 1 again. Hilarious. I hope you're enjoying Captain of Industry. If you are, hit the like button, comment, subscribe, all those amazing things. I will see you next time. And as always, thank you very much for joining me.